This is Taking Stock on Bloomberg. I'm Pimm Fox. Still following the latest on the terrorist scare coming from overseas. Packages on cargo jets being investigated and found to have some explosive device. President Obama speaking about it earlier today. We now have via telephone from Washington, D.C., Michael Chertoff. He's the former head of the Department of Homeland Security and chairman of the Chertoff Group. Mr. Chertoff, can you give us a little bit of insight into this incident? How does something like this become a news event? How does it come to the attention of the public and the sort of offering of all this information from security officials?
Well, what appears to have happened is that they got some intelligence information suggesting that packages from originating in Yemen might have explosive devices inside them. They then looked at the packages inside a plane that was stopped in Great Britain. They found something. And once you begin the process of actually stopping airplanes from taking off or moving them to different parts of the airport, it becomes a visible public event. And at that point, the general view is you have to explain it to the public so people aren't mystified.
As the former head of Homeland Security, is there, in your mind, adequate security in place now for cargo vessels, whether they be aircraft or ocean-going ships?
Well, what we've done is this. We've attacked the highest risk first. So there is currently, in the United States, for all domestic originating flights, a requirement that 100% of the cargo that goes in a passenger plane be screened. Internationally, they're not quite up to that level yet. And with respect to all cargo planes, there's a little bit more variation. There is no 100% requirement because they don't carry passengers, and they've not typically been viewed as a target. And in this case, I have to say it's not clear that the plane was a target as much as it was the ultimate recipient of the package, which appears, at least in the two instances, to have been Jewish religious institutions in Chicago.
Michael Chertoff, right now, you know that the head of British Airways, the chairman this week, speaking about what he called redundant security policies on passenger aircrafts bound for the United States. Do you have any thoughts on that?
Well, as I said yesterday, I thought it was irresponsible for somebody who has the sacred duty to protect the passenger not to put the issue of security front and center and to recognize the importance of dealing with what is a very real and ongoing threat. Ironically, and thankfully not tragically, today's events underscore the fact that aviation is a major threat vector for Al-Qaeda. And one of the interesting things here is that the reason that these bombs or devices were put on cargo planes and not passenger planes is because we have insisted on a higher level of security on passenger planes. And it would be really a gross mistake to turn it back to the old days and basically open the door to these being on passenger planes.
Michael Chertoff, a former secretary of the Department of Homeland Security.